All right, it is 7 o'clock. It is the appointed time and date for our January 21st, 2019 Aleppo legislative meeting. Let's all please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Let's have a roll call, please.
President Dogler,
Present.
Vice President Jones,
Present.
Commissioner Williams, Commissioner Darrow,
Present.
Commissioner DeFalga,
Present.
Solicitor Stone,
Here.
Manager Patterson. Here.
Okay, let's let the record reflect that a quorum is present, please. Well, good evening, everybody. Thank you for coming out tonight on this holiday evening, a cold, snowy night. Appreciate having everybody here. Before we get started, let me start with a reminder that this meeting, like all Aleppo meetings, is being recorded. So that has a couple different implications. Number one, that means that folks could be watching on our streaming service tonight without us knowing that they're watching. So what we say is visible live, and people could be watching at any time. Furthermore, when we finish the meeting tonight, the recording goes straight to YouTube, where it can be watched by anybody at any time, forever. So all that means be on your best behavior, because you can't take back what you say. The second implication is that that microphone right there is the only microphone that picks up what anybody in the audience is saying. So if you're talking, we can hear you here, we can all hear you, but the people that are watching on the recording can't hear you unless you're talking into that microphone. So please, if you want to address the board, please go up and speak into that microphone. Okay, so with those warnings out of the way, I will entertain a motion to adopt the January 14th, 2019 workshop meeting minutes as there were some amendments that went around via email. Have those all been, Kim, they've all been reflected? Okay, so I'll entertain a motion to adopt those minutes as amended.
Second.
So moved.
So there's a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed say no. That motion carries. Thank you. We are going straight into our reports. So, Chief, you're up.
Good evening, everyone. Make it short and quick. As always, as I like to state, the website is up to date with the police blotter. For the month of December, we had a total of 51 calls. The key there is 27 of those were medical assist calls, and the majority of those were to Masonic Village itself. The only one that stands out is there was a disorderly conduct call, but that was just loud music on Red Gate. The officer showed up, they turned down the music, no issue whatsoever. Other than that, it was just a typical, an animal here or there, nothing else. Pretty much some medical calls, traffic citations, and whatnot. Does anybody have anything for me? Any issues, concerns for the new year?
I don't think so.
Outstanding.
Short and sweet.
That's great. I have some child care stuff I have to attend to, so if you don't mind, I'm off.
By all means.
All's good? Okay,
Thanks for coming out.
all right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good night. Okay, fire.
No report.
Emergency management.
No.
Public works.
Report. I have the Public Works report here. Their activities in the last month including, they did a litter cleanup on Deer Run Road. They blew leaves along the township roads, cleaned the lower end of Red Gate due to heavy rains. There's a lot of washout and gravel that ends up at the bottom of Red Gate, so they have to go down and clean that up. They did the Christmas tree pickup. They picked up the Christmas trees and shipped them, and then shipped some brush that was over on Duff Road. They plowed and salted roads, and they did maintenance on trucks and spreaders.
Okay. Anybody have any questions?
I
Very
have
good.
something to add in the Public Works category.
Go ahead.
We did get a letter from Ben about extending the contract date for the Mealy from Mealy with the paving project to do the catch basins. And so you have that letter in your packet, and I just wanted you to look it over if you wanted to vote on that tonight, or if you wanted to. Did you get a chance to look at it and make sure?
I did. I mean, it looks fine to me.
It's just it's a change order to
Extend
extend the
the,
contract date.
Right.
What is the nature of that work, George? The storm, the inlets? from the checklist that,
Yeah,
I don't know if it's in our packet tonight.
I did see the change order, but I just want to specifically, so the inlets weren't part of the original contract, or they were issues with them where they need, what is? I
They,
don't-
they were, some of them were damaged during the paving, some of the grates were knocked off center, just to, sometimes that happens when you're running the big paving machines and they need, and knock some bricks loose in some of them, and they need to come back and fix the stuff that was just damaged.
Okay,
It's not,
They
it's
just
not a
asked for
new
the
project.
extension because of the weather.
okay, all right, but that's an addition to the original contract, correct?
No, it's a
No.
correction of, it's just fixing some stuff that was damaged during the process.
including in
It's
their
included, yeah, there
original
should be
price.
no cost included. in
Okay,
that.
that's what I wanted to clarify.
And
Thank
the
you.
money has been withheld
Till
until
they
that's
fix that.
fixed.
Okay, great, perfect, thank you.
So do we want to take action on that tonight?
Mhm.
Sure.
Okay. Anybody?
Move that we adopt or authorize change order number 3 to the Mealy and Mealy contract for the road work.
Second,
Okay, so the motion is to authorize change order number 3 to Mealy and Mealy, to the Mealy and Mealy contract for the road work, right? Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed say no. That motion carries. Thank you. Okay, anything else for Public Works? All right, communications. I have one email to read to the board. And unfortunately, Tom's not here. Huh? Dear George and Matt, this is from Eric Fulmer. Dear George and Matt, I departed his address at 7:15 this snowy/windy morning. We got this yesterday, I guess I should add, yesterday morning. To attend a rehearsal at SPC. The street was already plowed and salted before my departure, and the roads at the Swickley Heights Manor were very manageable. I noticed the Aleppo plow ascending Glen Mitchell as I was descending Glen Mitchell. The road was clear of snow and easily navigated. To be honest, I didn't know that Aleppo plowed Glen Mitchell, but I am very pleased that it was clear sailing all the way to the Aleppo-Osborne boundary. The Osborne section of Glen Mitchell was passable, but not nearly as clear as the Aleppo portion of Glen Mitchell. Swickley plows were just getting started on village streets when I transited this area. Because Osborne and Swickley are flat, it presented no problem. I only mention this because Aleppo plow crews were way out in front of neighboring communities in terms of clearing streets during the early morning hours of the storm. Please pass this commendation along to the township's plowing crew. Well done and much appreciated. Best, Eric. And I would add that I received a second email that was substantially the same. So,
And I would like to add that we would like to thank Bill Davis of the Water Authority because he subbed in for Tom, who was sick this weekend, so he subbed in and
wow.
was our second plow guy this weekend. So we always appreciate the cooperation among all the guys that are here.
will you make sure that Tom sees this?
Yeah, I
Bill.
was impressed how
Mhm.
quickly they were out there as well.
Mhm.
Yeah, I was up that morning, it's very good.
okay, anything else with communications? Hearing none. Planning and zoning. Do you have anything you want to talk about before we move to these 200?
Nope.
Okay, so the first pre-printed item is a motion to approve the Swickley Heights Manor Homes Association Lot Consolidation Plan, subject to completion of the plan, drawn comments in the HRG review letter dated January 2nd, 2019. At the workshop meeting last week, this motion was made, seconded, and deferred for 1 week, so it does not require a motion or a second. It's ready for a vote if there's no further discussion. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed say no. That motion carries. Thank you. Okay, so the next issue is a vote on the, maybe this is a little presumptive here. the wording here. A vote to approve the conditional use application. Does anybody have, that motion's never been made, correct?
Correct, and you
Okay.
have a draft of a motion, a possible approval motion in front of you.
That's what you gave me. Okay. So I'm standing here with my fingers ready to go for somebody to tell me a motion that they want to make with respect to the conditional use application submitted by Alderman Holdings. I should add, there are folks here. Do you have anything you'd like to add tonight?
Good evening, President Dobler, Commissioners. Thank you.
Hit the microphone for us.
My name is Austin Henry with the law firm Mills and Henry, and I have the privilege of representing Alderman Holdings, 200 Deer Run. At your last meeting, we took time and presented our evidence and testimony in support of the application for conditional use of the property at 200 Deer Run as a place of worship. And I don't want to belabor. If anyone has any questions, feel free to ask. But I did want to introduce, we have with us tonight Chris Fitting, who's the facilities director you heard from at the last meeting. We also have Pastor Scott McCabe, and I would like to introduce Roy Thompson, the principal of Alderman Holdings, the developer of the property. So again, I don't have anything new to add, but if anyone has any questions, we're here to respond. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay.
Move that we approve the conditional use application of Northway Christian Community Church and Alderman Holdings, 200 Deer Run LLC, to use the property located at 200 Deer Run Road in the 79 North Industrial Park in the C2 zoning district as a place of worship or assembly subject to the following conditions.
I second. Oh,
Right.
We're going to do 6 conditions.
I second.
Okay. 1, a standard developer's agreement in a form satisfactory to and approved by the township solicitor. 2, a stormwater management agreement in a form satisfactory to and approved by the township solicitor and the township engineer. 3, compliance with the terms and conditions of any variances granted by the township zoning board for the proposed use. 4, compliance with all federal, state, and local laws, statutes, ordinances, and regulations, including the township zoning, subdivision, and land development ordinances. 5, all improvements to be commenced within 18 months and completed within 2 years from the date of approval. And 6, no expansion, extension, or change in the approval or in the approved place of worship, assembly use will be permitted without applying for and receiving the prior approval of the Aleppo Township Board of Commissioners.
Second.
Okay. So we will consider Commissioner Dara's motion and his lengthy motion to be the official motion. For the sake of simplicity, I've just summarized it here, saying that it's subject to the written conditions. So we'll make the motion again as Commissioner Dara articulated it, and it's been seconded by Vice President Jones. Is there any further discussion? Once again, anything else anybody wants to say? All right, all those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed say no. That motion carries. Thank you all very much. I appreciate your patience with us taking a little extra time. Welcome to Aleppo, and please let us know if there's anything that we can do to make things better for you.
Thank you very much for your
Good luck.
consideration.
If you all want to scoot out, feel free to.
And now we are one.
Clay.
Hi, Clay.
I guess you're next.
Well, guess what? You're up.
I was gonna say, what's going on here? All right, well, good evening, everybody.
Hello.
Happy MLK Day. You should have in your packet the December tax collector report and the treasurer summary report. For the month of December, we collected $27,529.79 in total taxes. As you can see in the bar graphs on the next 2 pages, Again, a comparison of December 2018 to December 2017. Again, pretty stable, normal. As far as year-to-date budget, looks like we're a little over from what I've got. Shape moving forward.
You mean revenues over expenses?
Correct. Well, total revenues, sorry.
Sorry.
Just total revenues. So tax collection went well for the year of 2018. And then you can kind of just see from the previous year, 2018 compared to 2017, year-to-date numbers and things like that. So we did quite well for the year 2018. We'll wait to see what the auditor, once that all concludes for the year. Question?
Do you believe all revenues have been recorded? for
I
18?
would say so by now.
Close.
Yeah.
So
There might be a few
couple little
stragglers, yeah.
Stragglers coming in, but generally, yes.
I know there's a few things that I'm missing as far as commissions go that were paid, but they were collected, so
Okay.
that's probably not reflected in here, but there's such a minute
Yeah,
number.
nothing significant.
Right,
Okay.
so. And then for the treasurer report, you have all the account balances for the year end. For the PNC checking account, you have $343,086.59. The liquid fuels fund, which is again the salt contract that we have or use for salt, $56,744.04. The general investment savings account is $771,320.16. The reserve fund is $106,645.68. And then the capital improvement fund is $251,376.55. So total monies on hand for the township is $1,529,173.02. When you subtract out the pledged funds, which is the capital improvement and the reserve fund, and also the targeted funds, which is the liquid fuel, our net operating funds is $1,114,406.75. And then I also provided both the sewer bond account, which is debts, $496,741.48, and then the sewer capital account, which is for repairs, $30,942.84. Any questions?
Once, twice,
Oh, Gwen, did you prepare this annual report?
What is it?
The year ends for 2/18?
The bills and the, yes,
And this?
yes.
Okay.
Yeah, those are more the actual,
Yeah.
because the timing, because of the timing and everything, so yeah.
okay, anybody else?
All right,
Thank you, sir.
thank you very much. Have a good
great
evening.
day.
Thank you.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion for us to pay our bills.
I move to approve the December bill list in the amount of $33,157.73, to ratify December prepaid bills in the amount of $21,188.51, and to ratify December payroll transfers in the amount of $15,535.27.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed say no. Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you guys. Have a good evening.
Thank you.
Thanks, Gwen. Aleppo Township Authority.
A bit of information for you that's at this point incomplete, but last month I reported that the authority had adopted separate budgets for sewer and water operations for 2019, and that there had been some discussion about the potential need for a rate increase for the sewer operation. The basis for that suggestion was that in the budget adopted, it shows a balance of sewer capital funds for contingency of $21,614 and budgeted potential expenses that would wipe that out. I met with Commissioner Jones and Gwen, and we reviewed what information we had, and there's a disconnect because Gwen's information to me shows that the sewer authority had a contingency account balance on December 31, 2018 of $143,009, not $21,000. And a capital reserve fund of $88,000 and change. So I think we've concluded from that meeting that there's adequate funds available for contingencies in the 2019 sewer budget without the need for a rate increase. But we need to get to the bottom of the discrepancy in the contingency funds.
We're not clear on the terminology between different reports and different accounts, so I need to meet with them to just clear that up and see if it is what we
The
think it is.
interesting thing is the balance sheet that Nicole hands out at the meeting in December, as of November 30, 2018, it shows a contingency fund and capital fund in the exact same amount you gave me.
Good?
So Dan, to do the arithmetic, approximately 200,000 in what we might assume is a reserve?
Yes.
It's just the December report's off. Is that what you said?
Well,
The last, the one that's 21,000 is from,
Since the budget was prepared by the authority's engineer, I'm not sure what he was using to come up with a $21,000. But the authority meets on Thursday, so we'll have a further discussion about it.
Thank you, Dan.
All right, thank you. QB Cog, I don't have any report. Commissioner Williams went to the COG meeting. They had their elections there, and I wasn't there, so I'm only reporting this secondhand, but I believe that the president stayed the same. I think there was a new vice president and maybe a new treasurer as well, but I shouldn't say that specifically. Commissioner Williams will have to tell us about that next week. Do you have anything to add, Gwen?
I have no.
Okay. Solicitor.
No report. I will be happy to give you an update on the Masonic versus Aleppo litigation in a short executive session following the meeting.
Okay. So, unfinished business. First item is a motion to adopt the 2019 goals as listed. Last week we talked about these. A motion was made and seconded and deferred for 1 week, so that motion does not require being made or seconded today. It's ready for vote unless there's any discussion.
I just wanted to confirm my question to you off the record, that in adopting this motion, we're not committing any financial resources to what's on there.
No, but, I mean,
We may do that in the future in a separate legislative action, but this doesn't do it.
that's correct. That's correct. Last year, for example, when we knew that we were gonna be doing updates to the meeting room, we had budgeted, we had built into the budget certain issues, but nothing that's on that list this year has anything that would require budgeted money. So we
Okay.
can, if we need money later, we can go for that separately. You agree with that, Gwen?
I'm just want to look at it really quickly, but I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's look at it.
But I mean, we
yeah,
can,
but, yeah, you can
definitely,
look
if
at the
it's-
goals
if-
themselves, yeah.
right, yeah, I just can't remember.
Do you have those handy, Matt?
I can, yeah.
Is there a copy in the packet? I didn't see them. I didn't bring them last workshop.
I mean, so to answer your question, Commissioner Dara, I think that password management software will be something that we need to spend money on if we choose to do that. Well, I shouldn't say that. There are free options available, so that's
Right.
exactly to your point, right?
We'll
When we
make
start
that
digging into
decision
them, we
later.
can make that decision later.
Right.
This does not commit us to that.
Right.
The joint meeting doesn't have any money. HRG, that's,
The
Well,
signs?
but again, that's something that we can vote on later.
Right.
That's the whole
I-
idea is.
You've satisfied my concern.
Okay.
Okay? All right, so then, turning back to the motion, any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed say no. Motion carries, thank you. Next, I will entertain motions with respect to B, C, D, and E. I guess we should do them separately. Pre-printed in the agenda.
I move to appoint John Seaforth to the Aleppo Township Authority for a 5-year term ending December 31st, 2023.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed say no. That motion carries. Thank you.
Motion to appoint Tom Arbogast to the Planning Commission for a 4-year term ending December 31st, 2022.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed say no. Motion carries. Thank you.
I move to appoint Bruno Russo to the Zoning Hearing Board for a 3-year term ending December 31st, 2021.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed say no. Motion carries. Thank you.
Motion to appoint Sally Shipley as the vacancy board chair for a 1-year term ending December 31, 2019.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any
No.
Any
Sorry.
opposed say no. Are you saying no?
No, yeah.
That motion carries 3-1. Okay. Next, Fern Hollow Partnership donation. So we discussed this last week, and we had some maybe follow-up questions. Gwen, did you have a chance to follow up on those questions?
Kim worked on this, and she went on their website, and we weren't able to reach anybody today, but she got some information about the 2018 prices. They're not, 2019 prices were not on the website yet. Yes, so for 2018, the summer celebration, everyone gets free admission, so for a family. And so that was $20 savings for a family of 4, and it was $20 per family in 2018, so that would equal a free admission. Maple Sugar Celebration and Pancake Breakfast, they would receive a member discount, and the cost of that last year was $9 per adult and $7 per child. So it was $10 of savings for a family of 4. So that was not free admission, that was a discounted admission. For Fall Music Festival, the member discount this membership level would give them $40 savings for a family of 4. In 2018, the price of that was $25 per adult and $10 per child. And the upper one just says, there wasn't any specific discount listed for that one, so.
And their offer for 2019 is?
This is the offer for 2019. We were able to get 2018 prices.
Okay.
So
That's good.
comparable prices, I would guess the tickets would probably stay.
So we get the same
comparable
discount?
prices. Yes, this is the 2019 offer that we got. So yes, it would be the discount of $10 for a family of 4 for the Maple Sugar thing, and for the Fall Music Festival, $40 off for a family of 4, knowing that the normal price would be, if it's a family of 4 of 2 adults and 2 children, it's $70.
Am I mistaken? Is that letter in our packet? It's not, is it?
It was in the workshop packet last week.
Okay. Am I mistaken that that's not the offer that they're making this time? I thought they were doing something different.
Me too.
Last year, the 750 got the discount, I think, into the summer music celebration. And this year, I don't recall ever seeing anything about Maple Sugar Celebration before. I don't think that was one of the discount levels offered last year.
Kim, were you able to ascertain the benefit projected for 2019 as opposed to the benefit received in 2018?
Just the prices, just the discounts that are already listed. But it looks like they're, for the $1,000, is that the biggest one?
1,500.
$1,500, they're gonna offer the township a service, it looks like, but
Community outreach, community project agreed on by the township representative and a Fern Hollow representative. Projects can include but are not limited to a borough cleanup, consulting on project including installation of new gardens, new trees, or maintaining a garden or area in the township.
And that's something last year we received for free.
no.
We
That's
not-
what I think.
Well, no, they did the Earth Day
They
presentation.
came to an Earth Day thing,
They
that
didn't
wasn't,
charge.
they did not charge for that, it's not something.
So our decision is 750 or 1,500, or?
There's 500, 750, 1,000, or 1,500 as recommended options. In the past years, we've done the 750 option.
Do you have a recommendation as to which level provides the most benefit?
Well, clearly, the highest membership provides the best benefit.
Relative to the expense.
I don't, because I have no idea what Aleppo attendance at these things is. So I don't know. If no one takes advantage of it, I wouldn't be able to say what has the best benefit. I don't know.
So recommend something.
750. I don't think the 1,000 gets you much more.
Well, I mean, the Fall Music Festival is their event, and we go to that every year. I mean, I gotta be honest with you, we never were in a tier that got a discount on that, were we, in the past? We don't know.
I think we were only in the summer celebration. I think they might have shifted
Yeah.
the tiers, is what I
Yeah.
think this is.
But
Would you like?
I think we should be asking ourselves, I think we're going about this the wrong way. I think we should be asking ourselves what we wanna give them, and don't focus so much on the prize that we get. I mean, I think if we gave 750 in the past and that's what we wanna give them this year, I don't think that I think we're chasing our tail to decide whether or not an extra $250 is worth it for a better prize.
That's where I was headed.
All right?
So I move to make a donation to the Fern Hollow Nature Center in the amount of $750 for 2019.
Second.
Okay, so the motion is to make a donation to Fern Hollow Nature Center in the amount of $750 for 2019. There's a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion?
I just want to make sure we're going to have that in our newsletter, that whatever the benefit is to
Yeah.
residents at some point with those events coming up, or
And ask them to
ask
help.
them to also let our residents know
And then when
if
there
they
is an
show
event
up.
where we get a discount, put a poster on the front door or someplace.
That would be nice.
So one other question, do we know the contributions from other municipalities in the Quaker Valley School District?
I do not.
Okay.
I can't imagine they would tell you that.
Hmm?
Would they tell you?
It'd be on their 990, I think.
Oh, okay.
Projects that we've completed so far with the Borough Partnership Program include a borough cleanup in the Swickley Heights Borough. So I think it's safe to assume that
Good.
Swickley Heights is donating at the $1,500 level. And the design and installation of 2 rain gardens for Swickley Borough. So I think it's safe to assume that Swickley is donating
Good.
at the $1,500 borough. Okay, so the motion is to make a donation to Fern Hollow Nature Center in the amount of $750 for 2019. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed say no. Motion carries, thank you. Okay, proposed revisions to the first-class township code. As we promised last week, I sent an email to the woman that sent us the email, and she responded saying that she'd give us until January 30th to provide our comments. I mean, I did not, I know I committed to writing up a list of the specific sections that I wanted to look twice at, and I did not get to that last week. So, I don't know, I mean, I get the sense that January 30th is her trying to keep things moving, and I recognize that she doesn't want us to do exactly what we're doing and just drag our feet. I don't know, I mean, I guess maybe there's one way to look at it is that we just make no comment, which I'm sure is what 90% of the other townships will do.
And I think we figure that there will be other opportunities for comment. It's not even proposed legislation.
Do you have anything to add to this conversation?
Just that, the Townships Association has a lobbyist, a paid lobbyist, who does all this for us. And anything that, I just suggest, anything you want to have included or have considered I think her name is Amy.
I think that's who I've been emailing with.
She's usually very accessible and really easy to communicate with, so if I can help in that regard, I would. But other than that, I don't know a hell of a lot about it, to be honest.
Did-
I'm sorry. Matt, you said this was first brought up in December, right before the holidays, right?
They sent us an email, yeah.
And can we ask the lobbyists to reiterate our position is that we haven't really had, I mean, it was not a good time to present this, you know, other municipalities, maybe, I don't know if we talked to other municipalities that this is affecting, maybe through the lobbyists.
So a
But
lot
I
of this
think we
gets
should
done
all
through, yeah, so a lot of this gets done through the association, and I guess in my experience, it doesn't get done on a township by township basis. It gets handled through the association of townships, who then coordinate with the lobbyist. And my guess is that if you had something in particular that you wanted to be included, you could go to the association and they would then coordinate that with the lobbyist.
Is this a total rewrite of the law, or is this just amending what's already there?
It's just amending what's there. Several years ago, maybe more than several, but after centuries, the boroughs decided to update the borough code, and they really did a pretty good job as far as trying to include things like remote participation at meetings. It just did a nice job updating everything. If you look at the first-class township code, it still refers to the Court of Common Pleas as the Court of Quarter Sessions. So it's, it obviously hasn't been updated in a long time. And I think the idea was to do, the Township Commissioners Association wanted the legislature to do for the townships what they had done for the boroughs in the borough code by updating it. This started like 2 or 3 years ago, I believe, and again, like all I know is what the association reports, and I get those periodically when I go to the conferences like some of you do.
And what George said, there'll be definitely time in the future to comment on this.
Well, here, let me read this email. This is the email that Amy Sturgis, who I've
That's Amy,
previously
yeah,
talked
that's who I was talking.
She's the lobbyist.
She's the law.
This is what she sent to all of us in December. She said, as you may know, for the last several years, a small group of commissioners and managers have been assisting to rewrite the first-class township code. I am pleased to advise you that we have completed our work and a draft of the revised code is attached for your review and comment. This revision is meant to update and modernize the code, not radically change it. Language that has been updated, obsolete sections have been removed, articles and sections consolidated, etc. Blah, blah, blah. Then she says, we are asking member townships to review the draft before it begins its journey through the legislative process. Feel free to share with your solicitors as well. Please provide any comments, questions, or concerns in writing to me by January 18th. Once we have received comments from the member townships and other stakeholders, the draft will be finalized and put into bill form. The goal is introduction of a bill in the second half of 2019 and passage by the General Assembly before the session ends in November 2020. So
you have plenty of time if you want to weigh in on it as far as the legislative process goes. This is just for the association, their draft that they put together to recommend to the legislature.
When they file it, to start the legislative process, do they submit a red line draft that shows what the changes are?
That would be nice.
That I don't know, but I imagine they do. I've seen proposed legislation before where it does go in a track changes type format.
well, the executive summary that she sent, it's not a red line version, but frankly, I think the red line version would be very confusing to read. But the executive summary that she sent around is a 25-page document that does pretty much that. It tells you, it goes through section by section and explains not only what the changes are, but why. Yeah.
But again, to your, I think it's pretty much what I said. It's my understanding from what little I've heard of it and read of it, and I've read some of it, that these are really just bringing the code up to modern language and doing things that just bring it into the 21st century without really making substantive changes on rights or responsibilities or, I don't think you're gonna see any major changes.
Doesn't sound like you're gonna get a big extension of time anyways.
I mean, the only comment that I saw that was the one regarding people serving on multiple, like Dan. Wasn't that one of the things that you saw, Matt? We kind of thought.
There was an issue about that, again,
There was something in there about
It's not,
serving on
yeah,
multiple.
I saw that too.
And
That-
you
it
said
doesn't-
before.
That doesn't have to do with sitting on an authority board. It does have to do with if you cannot hold two elected township offices simultaneously.
but the authority board
Is appointed.
I got you.
So it
Okay.
wouldn't affect Dan's situation,
Mhm.
but but again, it's something that is just updating in the code what is already accepted practice.
From what I remember from the draft, it dealt with sharing of police, it dealt with remote participation, it dealt with multiple positions, things that you see in the paper every day, so to speak. So it seems to not only be updating the language, but it's also reacting to some problem areas in pretty simple language. Because almost every month you see another police force disappearing and whatever. The remote participation is just a matter of technological change. So I think what I recall from reading it, they were pretty relevant. Whether there were little nuances we should object to is
Yeah.
beyond me.
It'd be nice if they would have done some sort of, or will do, some sort of presentation on it to, where we can attend or,
Yep.
and just hear them go over it and explain anything rather than, I mean, I guess we could go through it page by page too, but maybe it's nothing significant like you said, so.
So one of the advantages, and Matt, you jump in if I'm wrong, and one of the advantages to going to these conferences and attending them is they have, Amy will normally have a standing hour where she goes through legislative updates and things
Yeah.
that she's working on. And so again, I think they count on those conferences and those association meetings as the vehicle for
Okay.
reviewing those. I don't think they would have the resources to visit each municipality, each township. I doubt it, but.
I was thinking if they had some kind of centralized thing, but.
Well, by the time they, I think by the time that they get more into the legislative process, you may see it circulated on a website, and you may see it more widely disseminated. But if you like, I can get hold of Amy.
The sense I get is that we take no action on this.
Right,
Okay.
great.
So. Okay, then moving along, Meaner property. Do you want me to talk about this, Glenn?
You can. I was not able to find any, I did some research this afternoon, but I was not able to find the history that I know exists somewhere.
Okay, so, I want to try to be very careful in my word choice here. Recognize me trying to be very careful in my word choice. So you'll recall that in the past, we've had the police go to Meaners and say that you gotta clean this up. And when we had put that on the back burner a couple months ago, we said that we would just sort of incorporate that and have the police go revisit. So the police went back and have revisited and have not gotten the same level of response that we've gotten in the past. So we were looking to try to figure out what the leverage was that we could exert on the situation. What is the stick behind the police going and visiting? And sort of the suggestion was that there really is no clear stick. We don't have a zoning issue, we don't have a property enforcement code violation. Am I saying this all correctly, Glenn?
Oh, has he got a storage yard there?
Well, wait, there's a next part, but I want to make sure that I'm good up through now.
I mean, so far, I was not able to pull the research, the
I understand.
history yet, so I,
So apparently what the police have been saying to him when they go visit him is that they believe that it would be appropriate for them to make a notification to DEP for some some potential DEP violations. But that's a very drastic step, so they say. So the question is, do we want to encourage that? Do we want to not encourage that? Am I right here, Gwen? You seem very blank.
Can you refresh my memory on this one? I don't,
So Meaner Auto Body is the
Oh, okay.
car repair shop.
oh, okay.
It has the cars and
Okay.
tires.
Sorry, thank you.
They line the hillside with cars.
Yeah, I know now. I didn't know the name, it wasn't registered. Thank you.
When?
If there's something that I'm saying incorrectly, please correct me.
I'm not comfortable, I would like to find
Okay.
the minutes and the research about the different approvals before I would say anything about an outcome
Okay,
or an action. That's what I.
then let's put this on for the workshop meeting, please, next week, next month. Okay, cleanup of Swickley lot on Glen Mitchell Road.
Brett and I met with Ben last week to work on the form of an application for a license.
Okay.
And I think we're pretty close to having something that we would circulate to the commissioners in Harlan to look at before we give it to Swickley and say, here, fill this out. Because our contemplation is that it's a fairly detailed application form, but the application will be essentially become a license when it's approved by the commissioners.
Okay. All right, so we'll just carry this along to next month as well. Parkland on Weber Road.
Our last discussion, I had mentioned it would be good to like see if we can get some resident input on what type of use.
And so,
And did we put a sign out or?
no, we've done better than that.
Oh, okay.
Do you want to?
Go ahead. Well, we had a meeting with one resident who was willing to do the legwork for the survey of the neighborhood. And he's willing to, he drafted a really nice letter
Okay.
that we're gonna print and send out to so I have to have one more meeting with him just to finalize the letter and the process, but he's willing to, he wrote the letter and is willing to figure out who to send it to and do the legwork, and then we'll get the surveys back, and then we'll have some information about how the residents actually feel about that, so.
How they feel about it and what they would like to see if they like the idea.
It's all in his survey.
Okay,
Yep,
great.
yeah, he did a nice job with the letter.
Okay.
He gave it to us and we were like, yeah.
Who was that?
Don Black, he comes to our meetings a
Oh,
lot, yeah,
awesome.
yeah,
That's
so
great.
we appreciate that. So that, hopefully will be going out in the next couple of weeks when I have a chance to meet with him and get it all printed and mailed.
What did you feel about the sign or just having something that people that might not look?
We could very easily take,
Just
print a larger version of that survey and post a sign and say, contact the township with your thoughts. So that we can just stick that on either side of the parkland. The guys have posts and
Okay.
we could do that. Okay, sure.
I think that's good outreach.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Aleppo Swickley Osborne Joint Comprehensive Plan.
So I sent around the poll of asking for meeting times, and there was no winner at all about dates where we could have even a majority of both the planning commission and the commissioners for this meeting. So I'm gonna send another poll out. Then we're moving into February. We were originally scheduled to have an ASO meeting tomorrow night, but that's been canceled for a multitude of reasons. But that'll give us some more time to get some dates in February where we can get the two groups together so that then we can have a statement to be prepared for the next ASO meeting, which I think is gonna be at the end of February.
Did Barb decide on the next ASO meeting yet, or is it still
I
out
didn't
there?
see that yet, I think it's out there, but it's,
Decision.
I mean, almost everyone weighed in and said February 26th would be
Oh,
better than
okay,
the 12th,
alright.
yes.
All right. I saw the emails.
All right. Snow reminders, we just remind residents not to park on township roads when it's snowing or when snow is expected. It's not safe for the plows.
There's nothing though basically, if they decide to do that, it's just asking them to be considerate, basically.
Well, we could always make an ordinance. You know, we've always,
Have we had a lot of issues with it though, or just a few?
frankly, it's always been my road.
Okay.
It's always been my road.
It's been Matt's car.
It's been my car once, just once, just once, and I was very embarrassed.
Did we have any problems the last couple of days?
Yeah, I mean, the problem is a relative term. They drive around it. It's just not, it's not effective and it's not safe.
There are certain areas in the township where if you're gonna have a problem, Rockledge is a good place to have a problem because it's wider, so you can get around it. I mean, it's a disadvantage to the cars that park on the street because they get plowed in, but that's how that works. There are a couple places where bends that were a much more dangerous situation, and we have not had any reports of people parking on those bends. So that was a big part of it, and the campaign seems to have worked in a couple
Any
of those places.
comments from Public Works this last week?
I didn't find anything out about the weekend. I didn't hear anything about the weekend. I mean, it is usually Rockledge.
I tried. Okay, any other old business? Hearing none, turning to new business. Anybody have any new business? Hearing none. Citizen participation. Nobody here.
Too cold.
Okay, so we are going to go into executive session. Right now, it's 7:51 PM. We're going to go into executive session to discuss litigation, specifically the lawsuit against Aleppo Township by Masonic Village. When we come back, we will not go on to the video. We'll come back onto the official record and we'll adjourn our meeting. We'll take any action that comes out of the executive session and we'll adjourn the meeting from there. So for the purposes of the video, this is the end. But for the purposes of the official record, we'll come back after our executive session.